he came out to go back and forth with CM Punk. They were basically just trying to assert their dominance, but also letting everybody know that they are going for that World Heavyweight title. And at that point, CM Punk was planning on doing that by getting into the Money in the Bank, which we'll talk about later. Sami already lost, but he's like, hey, I'm still going for it no matter what, no matter who walks out as the Money in the Bank winner, and whoever wins, in the Jey Uso Gunther rematch on Raw. But the way that Sami was talking was not in the most friendly manner. Like, you can give him some leniency, I guess, because they're talking about being aggressive in going after the World Heavyweight title. So it's like, okay, you're not going to have a babyface be like, I'll wait my turn. Like, obviously that's not going to happen. But he like stepped up to Punk, which is kind of new. And then we saw later Karrion Kross approached him, and Sami was not into it at all, called him out for obsessing over him over the last few weeks or months. Yeah. And Karrion is still being that little devil on Sami's shoulder and being like, you're not a good guy. I know what you're capable of. You could have been a champion however many times at this point if you just unleashed that side of you. And Sami is like, you're wrong. And Karrion says, I might be wrong, but I might be right too. So I feel like we're just getting more and more hints of a potential Sami Zayn heel turn. Like, I don't know when it's going to come. I don't know if it's going to be on Jay or if it's going to be on somebody else, but this is the kind of stuff that I feel like we might look back on when it might happen. Like, I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon, just because if we're talking about Triple H's universe, he doesn't do things immediately. He can he sits on stories like this. But I feel like we're seeing and hearing these conversations for a reason, and it's not innocent.
We are. There's definitely seeds being planted. Karrion Kross does not just hang around people and then leave and everything's hunky-dory. Like, after he leaves, that's when they snap. And the way that he approached Punk last night with the you must win, like, that's not Sami being the hero and like I'm trying to hype you up. That's him like threatening. Like that there was a threatening tone with that. Like, if you don't, then I'll have to, and you're not going to like how I do it. And it might be that he says that, screw all my friends. So I want to see Sami Zayn heel because I want to see Sami Zayn as champion.
But see, this is what I think is interesting, right? Because Sami was technically a heel for like a couple years when he was doing the whole conspiracy theory gimmick, and then he was in the bloodline. So it was like he was kind of a bad guy, but kind of not.
But was Sami really more of his...
Hold on. Okay. I'm not done yet.
Okay.
What I would like to see, because there are people who are like, I don't really care about Sami being a heel. Like, he's super over. People sing his song. Like, he's a good guy, whatever. But I'm kind of intrigued, similar to the way that I think a lot of people were with Bayley. I want to see them go full-blown heel with Sami. Like, I think the best way for Sami to go about that, if they want to get him heat as quickly as possible, is to turn on Jey Uso. Because Jey Uso is so over, champion or not champion. The fans, especially the live attendance, fans in the audience, they go crazy for him. So it feels like the easiest way for Sami to get hated quickly is to turn on his friend that he has this long history with, especially one that they can kind of revisit, because it would be the opposite of what we've seen before, where Jey did not like Sami. I kind of want to see the dynamic of it being the other way, because we haven't seen that side of Sami before.
And now with how heels, bad guys are portrayed, a lot of them aren't just villains and evil. Like, they're justified heels. So this wouldn't be just a Sami Zayn being a bad guy and
it's
evil.
It's just stepping on who you got to step on to get to what you want.
Yeah, exactly. It's, it's the bad guy to the common common person, perception.
Mm-hmm.
But to you, it's no, I'm gonna do what's best for me. And if it
Kind of
means that
like
I have to, like, who? Say
like
it.
it's kind of, well, this is my thought. It's kind of like what we wanted Cena to do.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go like Drew McIntyre, but okay.
No, I was thinking him too, but my immediate
Okay.
thought was like how we wanted the Cena heel turn to go. That was what we wanted. It was like, oh, he turned on Cody because his ultimate goal was to get 17. So we wanted that to be like
That's a catalyst, is what
yeah,
you're saying.
that's what we wanted. That could easily be the case for Sami because I mean, Sami has been in the company a long time and now he sees Jey Uso win the title before him, and it's like, well, they both beat Gunther, but he won a lesser title because he won the Intercontinental title. So it's like there's a jealousy factor that could come into play. It's like there's a lot of history there where I feel like it could be interesting. I don't know how well it would go over, but like it feels like an easy thing to do, you know.
Would this be a feud you'd be glued to? Sammy versus Jay.
I don't know because I think that the story is there. Like I think people would definitely be like emotionally invested in it because they were so invested in what was happening when Sami was trying to join the bloodline and Jay just like not wanting anything to do with him. And so
Mm-hmm.
then once it finally clicked and they were all cool, like people were super into it. So it feels like
Mm-hmm.
if they're going to try and flip that, people would care. Um but I also kind of like the idea of Sami doing it but kind of regretting it. You know what I mean? Where it's like he's gonna do what he has to do to get where he wants, but he's not evil. And so it'll be kind of like, it reminds me of like Shawn Michaels super kicking Ric Flair and being like, I'm sorry. And it's like
I'm sorry, I love
he
you.
had to do what he had to do, you know? So it would be kind of fun to see Sami do that because he's a bad guy, but not
Mm-hmm.
100%. And it's like, yeah, I had to stab Jay in the back, but like he would probably do the same thing to me if it meant he was going to be champion or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like that is kind of a way that they could go about Sami being somewhat like teetering in between, where again, an understandable heel if they don't want to go full
Justified.
blown like
Very
Sami
justified.
saying like fuck everybody. You know what I mean?